Welcome to Tech Guy channel. In this video, I am going to discuss the Windows 10 environment. The first public release of Windows 10 in July 2015 combined popular elements of Windows 7 and Windows 8 with new technology to create a powerful, easy-to-use operating system. Since that time, additional functionality has been added to Windows 10 through periodic public releases. Windows 10 can interact with you through commands that you enter on a keyboard, on screen, or verbally, from information and activities on your phone, and by gleaning information from email messages. Windows 10 is designed to work not only on desktop and laptop computers, but also on smaller mobile devices such as tablets and phones. If you're new to Windows 10 but familiar with operating system concepts, many Windows 10 features will be familiar to you. In this chapter, I will discuss procedures related to signing into Windows, exploring the primary user interface areas, managing content and app windows, and various methods of ending a computing session. Between computing sessions, Windows displays one of two screens, the lock screen and the welcome screen. When your Windows 10 computer first starts or has been idle for a while, it displays the lock screen. The lock screen is a security layer between the world outside the computer and the information inside the computer. The lock screen displays a background picture, the time and date, and network connection information. It can also display information from some of the core Windows 10 apps, including alarms and clock, calendar, mail, messaging, phone, Skype, store, weather, and Xbox. The lock screen doesn't display user account information or specific message content that you might not want to share with people who happen to walk past the computer. Windows 10 comes with a set of attractive lock screen images and you can choose a static background from among those. When you dismiss the lock screen, the welcome screen appears. The welcome screen displays a list of the user accounts that are registered on the computer in its lower left corner, provides access to the internet, accessibility and power settings in its lower right corner, and displays the image and password entry box or sign-in button for the most recent user in the center. From the welcome screen, you sign into Windows with your user account credentials to begin or return to your computing session. Your starting point after you sign into Windows is the desktop. The Windows 10 desktop has a picture or color background that fills your screen, hosts icons for system tools such as the recycle bin, might have app shortcuts, folders, and files stored on it, and has a taskbar that provides access to the computer content and functionality. The initial desktop background picture is configured as part of the Windows installation. If you upgrade from another version of Windows and choose to keep your personal settings, your desktop background won't change. If you purchase a computer that has Windows 10 pre-installed on it, it might feature a background specific to the computer manufacturer. For example, an HP computer desktop might display the HP logo. The only icon that is typically displayed by default with a clean installation is the one for the recycle bin, which is a temporary storage folder for deleted files. The recycle bin is initially located in the upper left corner of the desktop, but can be moved, and might appear empty or full, depending on whether you've deleted files. Apps that you install later might place shortcuts on the desktop to provide a quick way to start them. You can place app shortcuts on the desktop yourself too. Most computer manufacturers pre-install apps from companies they have alliances with, and place shortcuts to these apps on the desktop. The appearance of your desktop might be different from the one shown in this video, but the functionality will be the same. The bar across the bottom of the desktop is the Windows taskbar. The taskbar provides access to all the apps, files, settings, and information on the computer. The Start button, Search box, Cortana, and Task View button are located at the left end of the taskbar. Each of these has an important function. Selecting the Start button displays the Start menu, the primary location from which you access apps and settings. The Start menu has new functionality in Windows 10. Right-clicking the Start button displays the Quick Link menu, your fastest route to many frequently used computer management tools. The quick link menu options are specific to the computer. On a laptop computer, the menu also includes a link to Mobility Center. Entering a term in the search box displays relevant apps, files, and settings stored on your computer, and when you have an active internet connection, relevant online information also can be displayed. Search results are grouped by type. Selecting a group, such as apps, documents, web, or more, displays all results of that type. The icons to the left of the search results represent the app or system area of each result. Cortana is a curiously useful technology from Microsoft that is described as a personal assistant, but is really a complex information analysis tool that monitors your activities and communications and proactively provides you with relevant information about them. You can interact with Cortana through the taskbar search box, or if your computer or device has a microphone input, you can configure Cortana for speech recognition and then activate it by saying, "Hey Cortana." Cortana can track your incoming packages and outgoing flights, remind you of appointments, meetings, and tasks from email conversations, keep shopping and to-do lists, and provide information about pretty much anything: local restaurants and events, stock prices, traffic conditions, public transit options, movies and television shows, news, sports, weather, and more. You can set timers and alarms, and ask Cortana to remind you to do things at a certain time, on a certain date, or when you arrive at a specific location. You can connect Cortana to a variety of services, including Microsoft Dynamics CRM, NoMail, LinkedIn, Office 365, Outlook.com, Skype, and Wunderlist, to get all your notifications in one place. Selecting the Task View button displays Task View, which is a large thumbnail view of all the open windows and running apps on your desktop. From Task View, you can easily switch among or close apps and windows. You can also create virtual desktops, which are secondary instances of the Windows desktop. When you create one or more virtual desktops, you can organize the windows of running apps, files, and folders across them. The center area of the taskbar to the right of the Task View button can display shortcut buttons and toolbars. In a default installation of Windows 10, shortcuts to the Microsoft Edge web browser, File Explorer, the Store app, and the Mail app are pinned here. You can easily move or delete these and pin additional items that you want quick access to. Also, opened apps, files, and folder will show here. The right end of the taskbar is the notification area. The icons displayed here represent apps that run on your computer that might need to notify you of events or system status. You can choose which app icons appear in the notification area, and set them either to always display or to display an alert if something happens. You can also select or right-click notification area icons to interact with the underlying apps in various ways. Some of the apps that you install on your computer, such as Microsoft OneDrive, Outlook, OneNote, and Teams, will display icons in the notification area. By default, the notification area contains the following items. The Show Hidden Icons button displays a pane of notification icons that are for apps rather than for Windows functions. You can access app management commands from these icons. The standard Windows notification icons provide access to network and sound settings, app and operating system notifications, and other tools. The specific icons depend on your computer configuration. The time and date displayed on the taskbar also provide access to configure the time and date settings on your computer. The Action Center icon opens the Action Center, which provides quick access to messages, notifications, and settings. When you have unread communications from apps, such as Cortana, Microsoft Mail, or Outlook, or from Windows or other sources, such as mobile devices, the icon is white and displays a number, otherwise it is hollow. The narrow bar at the rightmost end of the taskbar is the Show Desktop button, which you can use to minimize all open windows. The Windows 10 Start menu provides access to computer management commands, your account folders, the apps installed on your computer, and any apps, folders, files, websites, or other things you want to pin to it. The Start menu has commands in 3 areas. The left side of the Start menu displays icons for power, settings, and account information by default, and you can add other links to it. The Start menu is collapsed by default to display only the icons. The app list displays an alphabetical list of all the apps that are installed on your computer. Recently installed apps appear at the top of the menu. The right side of the Start menu displays groups of app tiles that the computer manufacturer pinned there for you or you choose to pin there. Some apps support live tiles that display current information such as weather, stock prices, or news. You can configure the content of the Start menu however you want by adding, removing, resizing, and grouping tiles. If you prefer a cleaner look, you can opt to display a full-size Start screen instead of the partial screen Start menu. In versions of Windows prior to Windows 10, the various settings that controlled the behavior of the computer were available from Control Panel. Navigating through the Control Panel screens could be somewhat tricky. Control Panel still exists in Windows 10, but most of the settings have been moved from Control Panel to a much simpler interface, the Settings window. The settings that haven't yet been moved are available through links from the Settings window. It's likely that future Windows 10 updates will result in the continued migration of Control Panel content to Settings. To open the settings, follow these steps. On the left side of the Start menu, select the Settings icon. Or press Win+I. You can also open near the right end of the taskbar by selecting the Action Center icon and then, in the Quick Actions section at the bottom of the Action Center, select All Settings. In its default configuration, the Settings window displays iconic representations of the 13 categories of settings that are present in the Fall 2017 Creators Update of Windows 10. The Settings window is an example of the type of changes Microsoft made in Windows 10 so that the operating system can run on devices of any size, from desktop computers to smartphones. As the window width decreases, the icons become smaller and move to a list format. Regardless of the format, each category icon and name is accompanied by a short list of settings available in that category, to give you an indication of where to find specific settings that you're looking for. One of the benefits of the Settings interface over Control Panel is that each category is only one level deep, so it's relatively easy to browse to the feature or setting you want to configure. In the standard wider settings window configuration, each category page displays a list of features in the left pane. Selecting any feature displays the settings for that feature in the right pane. When the settings window is narrower, selecting a category name displays only the feature list, and then selecting a feature displays that pane of settings. It's easy to locate a specific setting from the Find a Setting search box at the top of each page of the settings window. You can locate the configuration options for a specific feature by selecting the category and then the feature, or by searching from the Settings window search box or the Taskbar search box. When you configure settings in the Settings window, your changes are implemented as soon as you make them. It isn't necessary to save your changes, and it's not possible to undo your changes other than by manually reversing each change. If you ever need to identify the default settings for a feature, one way to do so is to create a new local user account, switch to that user account, and then check the settings in that account. As previously mentioned, Control Panel still exists and you can configure many of the less frequently used settings there. The standard Control Panel configuration displays category names followed by tasks you can perform in the categories. Alternatively, you can display features instead of categories by switching to Icon View, where you have the choice of displaying large or small icons. The content in both views is the same, but it can be much simpler to navigate through Control Panel in Icon View than in Category View. In either view, A search box is located in the upper right corner of the window. Searching from this box returns results only from control panel. A window can either fill the entire screen or occupy only part of the screen. You can open and close a window, move a window, and change the size of a window. When an app including File Explorer or System Element is active, its window has a corresponding taskbar button. Windows have common features. Depending on which system or app generates the window, its controls might look slightly different, but in general, a window has a title bar at the top that has a title in the middle and window management buttons on the right side. The three buttons on the right end of the title bar are Minimize, Maximize, and/or Restore, and Close button. Minimizing a window doesn't close the file or app in the window, but closes the window on the screen. You can reopen the window by selecting the corresponding taskbar button. Maximizing or restoring a window fills only part of the screen, maximizing it increases it to full screen size. When a window is maximized, restoring it returns it to its previous part screen size. Closing a window also closes the file or app that the window contains. Pointing to or hovering over the controls displays screen tips to help you identify them. You can also use the title bar at the top of a window or the window frame to manage the window size. To maximize the height of a window without changing the width, point to the top or bottom of the window frame, and when the pointer changes to a double-headed arrow, double-click. If you're going to stop working with your computer for any length of time, you can use one of these three options to leave the Windows session. Sleep leaves your Windows computing session active, saves the state of any running apps and open files, turns off the monitor, and puts the computer into a power-saving mode. When you wake the computer up, the monitor turns on, the lock screen appears, and signing into Windows resumes your computing session. Shutdown signs all active users out of Windows, shuts down the computer processes in an orderly fashion, and turns off the computer. The other available power option is to restart the computer. When you do so, Windows shuts down the computer, and then starts it again. It is sometimes necessary to restart a computer to complete the installation of an update, when the update affects system files that are in use during the computing session. Restarting can also fix things if your computer is overtaxed with too many processes and begins to run slowly or erratically. If apps are running when you sign out of Windows or shut down or restart the computer, Windows manages the process of exiting the apps. If files are open and have unsaved changes, Windows pauses the sign-out process and prompts you to save the files. At that point, you have the option of canceling the sign-out process and returning to your Windows session. This covers Windows 10 introduction. If you have a question to ask, leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer it. If you found this tutorial is helpful, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.